We got a big show for you today. Congress is finally back from their long vacation and a lot of things are moving, guys. Big breaking news today. Trump is moving to declare two national emergencies in the United States of America at this time. One being for the illegal alien deportations and the other being for a national housing emergency. With Congress back in the helm, guys, we finally got things moving with Jim Jordan, Mike Johnson, and this is going to be a big showdown because Trump has just got hit with some major orders from some judges that went totally against him big time. Now he's taking it to the Supreme Court. Guys, we got a big show for you today. If you appreciate it, let me know your thoughts in the comments. We got new crime bills that are coming to the floor that will affect every single city in the United States. We got new revisions to Social Security, Medicare, and Medicaid that are going to be touted in the second big, beautiful bill, everybody. Big things. Reason being is because of the tariff revenue. Scott Bessent, we're going to show you in just a moment. Scott Bessent is tying the tariff revenue to Medicare, Social Security, and Medicaid for helping to fund them. And this is going to be put into law so it makes sure that the tariffs don't go anywhere and we stop getting ripped off by other countries in the world. But President Trump is moving to declare a huge national housing emergency in the next coming months. Treasury Secretary Scott Bessent has said that 20 million illegal aliens entered into the country, broke the housing system, and that's why prices skyrocketed. He said you tie that with 9% inflation during the Biden administration and all the wasteful spending on DEI programs and over foreign policy, we dug ourselves into a huge big hole and we have to get ourselves out. Guys, this is big stuff. Like, there is so much moving today. We're done with the holidays. We're moving into this big month, the budget month, new big beautiful bill. This is huge. Not only that, Trump had a huge win at the DC court, and they ruled 2-1 that President Trump can axe an additional $16 billion in climate grants that were awarded to 15 nonprofits by Joe Biden. I'm telling you, everybody, one by one, we're chopping off the wasteful spending big time. The Trump DOJ is also suing the state of Illinois for giving discounted tuition to illegal aliens. Yes, you heard me right. You're an American citizen, you got to pay full price, but if you're an illegal, you get a discount. We also have it where another Democrat has just said that they're not going to seek re-election in 2026. Here we come, red wave, baby. This is going to be a big one. And this one right here that is being fast-tracked into the emergency docket of the Supreme Court because U.S. District Court Judge Charles Breyer ruled that President Donald Trump's troop deployment in California was illegal. They tout this as a win for Governor Gavin Newsom. Trump said, not so fast. We're going to the Supreme Court. We're going to stop having partisan judges rule in favor of Democratic policies. So we've got huge things that are happening today, guys. Like, I'm telling you, like, we had a big day yesterday of just so much that's going on. But now that Congress is finally back, we're finally getting some things moving across the nation. Chicago is getting more scared every single day because Trump literally has more troops being sent to them. Huge breaking news. Let me know your thoughts in the comments. I want to say thank you to everybody who is watching, to all of our members and all of our subscribers. Y'all are the best. We're so excited for just growing this community. Thanking you for your support. Y'all are the best. I want to say thank you to everybody that gives a super chat donation. Want to give some special love to Mr. Norby, Elaine Demeen Show. Elaine, some love in the chat. And already, y'all, remember on the 22nd of every single month, we're donating our super chats, our memberships to a local charity, to a local children's home on the 22nd. But today, give some special love to Mr. Norby for already donating 20 TrueLife News memberships, growing the TrueLife News family. Show Mr. Norby for Congress some love in the chat. And if you don't mind doing us a huge favor of hitting that thumbs up like button, guys, we got a big show for you today. We're getting the fireworks going. Two national emergencies across the board. Trump's not holding back. We are full steam ahead, everybody. We are going to fight this because right now they're trying to push the narrative that Trump is trying to defund the police. You cannot make this up, everybody. They're saying he's trying to defund the police by just bringing in the military. Let me know your thoughts in the comments because this is about to get real. Again, it's all about what needs to be done to protect America. And as Trump is moving forward and weighing the national housing emergency, Treasury Secretary Scott Bessent says, we cannot hold back anymore. When we look at how many 20 million illegal aliens came in, the interest rates that have not moved because Jerome Powell is being partisan. When we look at where Congress is at, I'm telling you, we got some big stuff coming up. Trump GOP faces tough choices for the second tax bill that's about to happen, guys. All this stuff is coming out today. The reason being is because Trump wants to make sure that people can buy homes, people can start new businesses, and people can actually survive with removing as many illegal aliens as possible. Because remember, every one of those people is going to live in a home. They're going to rent. Why do you think things skyrocketed? Why do you think inflation just went through the roof? And Trump is moving. What can we do through this new big budget bill that we're about to pass? Let me know your thoughts in the comments because, again, too, remember, Social Security, Medicare, and Medicaid are going to be in this to be helped out with the tariff revenue to make sure that it doesn't become insolvent. That's big. Y'all show Sharon L. Rich some love in the chat, everybody. Thank you so much, Sharon, for your support. We appreciate you so much. And don't forget to show Mr. Norby some love in the chat. If you got a free membership, show him some love in the chat. You cannot make this up with what's happening. Big stuff is about to change, but we need to. We need an overhaul of the government. If you appreciate this, if you don't mind hitting the thumbs up like button, I'm telling you, we got some big stuff to show you today. How bad this is, everybody, I'm telling you, because it's always these judges that are not prosecuting people. And now they're actually siding with the crime. Trump sends in the National Guard into California and the crime goes away. Now that federal judge is ruled that Trump violated military law by activating National Guard in California. Let me know your thoughts in the comments, guys. I'm telling you, this is a big showdown that's about to happen. The Supreme Court has got to rule that are you the president of the United States? Are you allowed to keep America safe? Are you allowed to actually go out and reduce crime? Because if these cities that are supporting illegal immigration, funding illegal actions by giving all of our taxpayer dollars to illegal aliens, is that even allowed? Is that constitutional? But yet you want to rule that Trump can't go in and protect people? And you know why? What I'm about to show you next, I told you we're bringing the receipts today, is because of this right here. When you touch the money, guys, I'm telling you, it's always about the money. And this is a big one. Big Trump win. D.C. Circuit Court just ruled 2-1 that President Trump can axe an additional $16 billion in climate grants awarded to 15 nonprofits by Joe Biden. The court even said that Obama Judge Chutkan abused her discretion by blocking Trump from cutting the funds earlier. Do you see how common sense is starting to win out? But every single time that they have to take this to an appeals court or they take this to the Supreme Court, Trump is winning big time. Let me know your thoughts in the comments. Fred Samuel, thank you so much, brother, for the super chat. Let's go. He said, it's time to clean up America and bring law and order back to our country. It's time for Republicans to get serious, baby. Y'all show Fred some love in the chat because that's exactly what Trump is doing. This is what I love, everybody, is that when we show you what's going on and how much they're fighting against Trump and everything that they've done in the past, we have to do this. And right now, Marjorie Taylor Greene, our girl Marjorie Taylor Greene, said the fastest way to end the housing crisis is to pass my bill eliminating capital gains taxes on selling your homes. so that people don't lose equity? Because this is it right here. President Trump moving to declare a national housing emergency this fall to address skyrocketing home prices in America. People can't afford their homes. They can't afford their electricity bills. They can't afford all this stuff. Why? Because there's so much demand. When you allow 20 million illegal aliens to flood in within a span of 2, 3, 4 years, this is what you get. And now I love that, Fred, because we have to get serious. Trump has got to make sure that he doesn't pull back on any of this. If we want to protect America, we've got to make sure to fight against what you're about to hear next, because they're resisting it. They're trying to protect the crime. Listen to this.
There's no seats. I believe the city of Chicago.
And guys, they keep blasting that commercial because it's so real, but I want to show you this, because whenever you get Joe Scarborough siding with Trump's policies, the Democrats got it bad, everybody. Hills Boy, welcome to the family. Let's go, brother. Y'all show Hills Boy some love in the chat, as well as Mr. Tracy J. Norby for gifting a super chat, y'all. Said, don't y'all love a good old Democrats clown show? Let's go to the clown show. Go MAGA. I love it. Show Mr. Norby some love in the chat. OG of the channel, y'all. This is big. I'm telling you. MX9298, yes. For the D's, yes. This makes Trump 19-0 when it goes to the appeals court and when it goes to the actual Supreme Court. The federal district judges at the bottom, he loses almost every single one of them. But whenever they appeal it and they go to the highest courts, that's when Trump wins. But you cannot make this up, what you're about to hear, y'all. I tell you, I don't care where we bring the news from, but we bring common sense and the truth to this channel. Listen to this.
Concern is you have leaders in Chicago that see this. As you say, we've been reading about this for years now. Every weekend, and maybe crime has gone down. But, we had the mayor of Chicago on last week saying, oh, we don't need any more police officers. Police officers aren't the answer. No police officers. I think he said no 5 times. You look what's happening this weekend. You look so, I actually think that J.B. Pritzker should do something radical. I think he should pick up the phone, call the president, and say, and I know, you don't have the constitutional authority to deploy the National Guard here and to police my. You can do that in D.C., you can't do that in Chicago. But let's partner up. These are the most dangerous parts of my state. We would love to figure out how to have a partnership that's constitutional, that respects the sort of balance of.
Do you hear this, everybody? Let me know your thoughts in the comments. When Joe Scarborough from MSNBC is saying we need to just let Trump actually do what he needs to do, send in the military, Democrat mayors, Democrat governors, stop fighting, pick up the phone, because we need safety. People are tired of crime in America. Guys, is this not a revolution? And yes, Fred Samuel, it's so humiliating for them because they're having to walk back all their dang comments about Trump. Y'all show Fred Samuel some love in the chat. He said, I would be humiliated if I was a Democrat at this point. I wouldn't show my face on national TV. I love it. And again, too, it's their own fault. They sided with uncommon sense. They sided with bad policies and not America First policies. If you appreciate this, if you don't mind hitting the thumbs up like button, I'm telling you, today is a big, big day. Lots of stuff is going on. Listen to this.
His whole thing is you can't be MAGA and be anti-Israel. Look, you can be pro-Israel, you can be anti-Israel, you can do anything you want. That, as long as you're America first and not Israel first, you can be MAGA. So we don't need a foreign leader, particularly a vassal state. They are a protectorate. They are a protectorate. You saw this in the 12-day war. They didn't have the ability, didn't even come close to the ability to take out the nuclear enrichment program, including the above ground, which Navy submarines with Tomahawk missiles, which I might add, Jack, correct me if I'm wrong, the Tomahawk is a 1970s technology, okay? For the vaunted Israeli Air Force, we had to take out the above ground with Tomahawk missiles from the North Arabian Sea. We also had to protect by sending Aegis cruisers in our air defense and 25% of our THAAD missile defense to basically provide missile defense for Tel Aviv and other areas, because the Iron Dome and David Sling and all this stuff they promote didn't work to the degree that the ballistic missiles and what the Iranians and Persians were hitting them with. This is why President Trump did the massive raid, and President Trump is locked in. He's saying, hey, total obliteration of their nuclear enrichment program. So end of discussion. They want to have regime change. Let the Persian people do it, or the Israelis, if they can finish what they started and don't need to drag us in, which obviously they need to drag us in, and they're going to try to drag us into Gaza. That's what we have to be on guard about, because this Gaza thing, as tough as the IDF is, and this commander of the IDF is a pretty tough hombre. When a guy like that saying, hey, I think we really got to think this thing through before we do this, and I don't like the way Bibi and these guys, I mean, he, in this meeting, and this is what's reported by the Jerusalem Post. And
slide to the right and the card's locked. Unlocked.
Sorry, guys.
The Chase mobile app has card lock, and it has encryption technology to help you keep your data safe.
Sorry. I don't know where that, sometimes the commercials come from somewhere. Sorry, y'all.
Times of Israel and even all the right-wing bloggers. He threw up to Bibi and these guys, where were you guys on October 7th? Where were you on October 8th? Where were you on October 9th? So there's a big gap now you're seeing between the IDF and the politicians. Let me just be blunt, because we have not been wrong on this yet, and we said it the day that the chaperones were here taking up all that time with President Trump. They don't have the financial wherewithal, the political will, or the military capacity to add anything to Ukraine. They gave a bunch of happy talk that day, but they went back over to the Ukrainian embassy, and there was that picture with Zelensky. He's trying to sell them, but they got nothing. Zero. It's all happy talk.
Do y'all see this? Again, it's all about exposing where the Democrats have been at and what they've been trying to do. I'm telling you, when we expose the bad policies and what they're trying to do right now with all this tariffs investments, we're trying to pull back tariff investments, we're trying to say that Trump illegally went into into California. It's all about the Ukraine, the Russia war should have never happened. They were trying to funnel money into Ukraine. Don't know where $100 billion was. Judge rules that Trump's use of the U.S. military in L.A. was illegal. Like, are you kidding me? All this stuff, what we're exposing is, again, bad policies. People are getting tired of living in these bad policies. And again, what we show you, it's hilarious, because across the board, they cannot help it anymore. But all these left-wing media outlets are showing more and more conservative points, because that's what people want to see. Let me know your thoughts in the comments. Listen to this.
You were smirking when you were listening to him.
Well, look, surging federal agents, ICE, CPB, to a state that has over 500,000 illegal immigrants in it, many of them live in Chicago. I mean, the federal government is going to enforce federal law. I hear Pritzker complaining that there's no coordination, but I also heard the mayor say he's ordered the police department not to cooperate with federal officials on this immigration crackdown. So how are you supposed to cooperate if the mayor is ordering his own police force not to do so? The fact is, you have people in this country illegally. The president has promised, since he was running his campaign last year, that he planned to crack down on illegal immigration. He's sending federal agents to Illinois to do that. I'm not entirely certain why everybody is so angry or surprised about this. I mean, we're here enforcing federal immigration law in a city that we can argue about whether it's a crisis or not, but there were 53 shootings there over the weekend. It's pretty violent.
Here in D.C., apparently it's about crime, except most of what we've seen has been immigration enforcement. Now you're going to move to a U.S. city, Chicago, where apparently it is about immigration enforcement if it's the president, but it's not. It's about crime. Like, what are we talking about?
Aren't they one and the same? If you're in the country illegally, you're a criminal.
No, that's not the same thing. And you know
Why?
It's a civil offense if you cross the border.
Oh my gosh!
No, but wait a second. You are trying to make.
If you're here breaking U.S. immigration law, why
Okay,
should
you
you
are
be
trying to
deported?
make.
Can I just respond to the National Guard? And you told me you haven't been here all month. I've been here every week this month since they've been deployed.
I've been here all
Here's-
summer, Scott,
here's-
except for the last 2
here's-
weeks. So
except
I
for-
live here
so-
in Washington,
So since
D.C.
National Guard has been deployed?
Yeah, but the bottom, you cannot sit here and tell me that I don't
Ooh.
know how it's affecting my
Here's-
community that I've lived in for a very long
Here's
time.
what I'm telling you. I've been walking around here all weekend and every week for the last several weeks since they've been deployed. Here's what I've seen. I've seen extremely friendly National Guard members having extremely friendly interactions. I've seen them pose for numerous pictures. Other than a few soreheads out doing protesting who tend to protest everything, I think they have been extremely well received from my observations, and they've been quite a bit. I've been here
Yeah, but
for
Scott, is
most
this
of the
a
last
good
month.
use of our National Guard
Yeah.
to come in
Yes.
the community?
We've arrested thousands of criminals, taking
Wait, hold on. Is it a good use of our National Guard to actually protect our citizens from crime? Like, are you serious? Like, that's literally what she just said, yo. You can't make this up. I'm telling you, if we don't show you everything and expose all these crazy people, I love it because you're getting to see the real news and we're exposing. People are, I mean, they're running rampant, everybody. Leading report says Democrat Representative Jerry Nadler, who helped lead President Trump's impeachments, will not seek re-election in 2026. Oh no. What's going on? We've got a lot of Democrats that are just leaving now their positions. Talk about a red wave coming, baby. That's why I wore my red shirt today. We're going to have us a red wave. Put it in the chat, everybody. Hashtag red wave. Put it in the comments. It's going to be a big one. Andy, thank you so much for the super chat, brother. Let's go. He said, well, the Pew Research Center is reporting that there are 92.5 million illegals that entered the USA from 1990 to 2022. All this data comes from the Census Bureau data. The Gov is lying to us. Dang. If there's 330 million people in the United States, say 92 million are illegals, just imagine where Social Security would be at. Medicare, Medicaid, housing, how rich America would be if we were just America first. Show Andy some love in the chat. Thank you so much, B1 Sly One, for the super chat. I love it. Said Chad has been asking if there will be fall, winter True Life News merch with long sleeve shirts and or hoodies or hair clay. Maybe hair clay. You got to get the hair, guys. You got to make sure you got the clean look. Y'all show B1 Sly One some love in the chat. And yes, we are working on it. And this next week, you will see some polls going out to ask everybody like what kind of styles they want for the new shirts and merchandise that are coming out. We appreciate B1 Sly One so much. And Angela Broom said, love True Life News. Go MAGA. Y'all show Angela some love in the chat. OG of the channel. I'm telling you, we are changing everything right now. Listen to this.
The British economy is collapsing. The French economy is collapsing. The German economy is already in a recession. There's no political will of the people to do this. They don't have any arms. They have no armies. They can't defend themselves. They depended upon the underwriting of the United States of America. That's why, folks, over the next 2 weeks, they're going to have a must-pass NDAA, National Defense Authorization Act, that's basically going to lay out over $1 trillion defense budget for the good old United States of America that you are paying for and that your kids are signing up for. And that is because they want to get us into Ukraine big league. It's not going to happen. President Trump's not going to let that happen.
I saw the president's White House counterterrorism director, Sebastian Gorka, on CNN raising this, and I completely agree with his statements that we need to start seeing from the national and federal law enforcement level a discussion and a unit set up at the national law enforcement level directly focused on radical trans violence. There's been too many shootings. There's been too many killers. Look, we used to have a problem with serial killers in this country back in the 1970s. We didn't make excuses for it. We didn't apologize for, you know, Jeffrey Dahmer and using the wrong pronouns for Jeffrey Dahmer. No, we went after them and we talked about it as a society and we put our resources at the federal level against it. it. I would love to see, an FBI unit, whatever the most appropriate use would be, that's dedicated to going after these networks and these groups, because these attacks are eerily similar. They're happening all over the country.
100%.
You keep seeing information about message boards and different areas where people are discussing attack vectors and types of attacks. So where is the federal law enforcement response to radical trans violence?
Well, the best response, I think, today for Cash and Dan Bongino and Seb, if you set up you're the head of counterterrorism, arrest the mother today. She's an accessory to murder, okay? She's an accessory to murder of what she did to this young kid, right? What she allowed to happen and kind of what she drove to happen.
When you mess up
the
their mind,
the mother left.
I got an answer. Indict her and arrest her. Indict her and arrest her, and let her defense lawyer give some answers. Let her give some answers.
If you appreciate this, if you don't mind hitting the thumbs up like button, I'm telling you, if we don't start holding people accountable for messing with these kids' minds and making them, when you start any dang medicine, I'm telling you guys, any dang medicine that has side effects that, suicidal thoughts, you may have suicidal thoughts, or you may have the urge to harm others. How is this even legal in the United States? Like, that's what makes me mad, and people need to be held accountable, y'all. That's what I want to see, and that's what I'm telling you, what you're about to see next. The entire Congress is back. Things are moving. National emergencies are taking place. You're about to hear it, guys, from people within the House. People are going nuts right now on the Democrat side because they don't know where to go. They don't know who to turn to.
When she's in the docket on the murder trial, right? She's an accessory to murder, flat out.
Well, we need to see what's going on with the mom and dad, because it looks like the mom left a couple of years ago. So we need to figure out what's going on.
Yeah, but if you look at all the different postings and things like that, she was deep part of this. Anyway, I'm open to have a counter argument, but I think they ought to move to arrest her. She's an accessory. You got to get the psychiatrist, you got to get the school counselors, you get everybody that nudges this along, right? NBC News with your right pronouns. Anybody that pushes this along, this radical transgender ideology that we've been on with Brandon Showalter and these guys at the Christian Post and Dr. Miriam Grossman and others for years and years and years. Now you're absolutely correct. They're coming to kill. They want to take out as many, and they particularly focused on small children.
The mother yet?
I have no idea. They ought to interview her and then arrest her.
I'd love to hear about this.
We can't let it go, y'all. We can't let it go. And what you're about to see next, I'm telling you, this is becoming more apparent. It makes me so upset because they said it doesn't happen. Look at this. Canadian man illegally voted in the U.S. for 20 years. And I promise you, you know who they voted for. This ain't this. They said it doesn't happen. They said, oh, you're just paranoid and you don't want minorities to vote. It's all a big lie. They all been trying to cover it up, and we are finally exposing them all. Think about that. This is just the people that we catch who have been swaying our votes. And even too with the dang census, I've got to show you this because this is why we have to 100% do a mid-decade census, because we know there was cheating. We know it wasn't done correctly. Listen to this.
One of the big things is it helps decide congressional maps.
Right.
Does this have everything to do with redistricting?
Well, it does. In fact, we know the 2020 census, the errors were almost always to the detriment of red states. Blue states like Rhode Island.
Do we know that?
We do know that. The Census Bureau's own audit of its work has proven that. Blue states like Rhode Island were overcounted. Rhode Island then didn't lose a seat. Red states like Alabama were undercounted. This is just a fact. It wasn't all red-blue, but it was disproportionately red-blue.
I'm telling you, y'all. I'm telling you, everything that we're showing you now, it is all we've been cheated, lied to. The system was rigged against us, and we're finally exposing it all. Full steam ahead, not holding back. Congress is finally back. We're declaring national emergencies. Listen to this, because you're about to see what's about to happen with the new big crazy bill that's coming out. And also, Trump is fighting things left and right, everybody. This is big, big stuff. And what I love is that, again, Trump's not holding back. Oh my goodness. All these dang commercials, y'all. I'm so sorry. The stuff that's coming out, we're finally seeing that Trump is going to put America first and having a national housing emergency from Scott Bessent. Guys, I want to give some special love to Kathy Brewer, OG of the channel. Said, MAGA all the way, please. President Trump, please help California. Gruesome has to go. He has destroyed our beautiful state. Help the working class by bringing down gas prices and rent prices. Please help. Amen. Guys, show Kathy, OG of the channel, some love in the chat, as well as Fred Samuel, some love. Thank you so much, brother. He said, Massey is putting up a bill to get rid of gun-free zones in schools like it used to be before the 90s. Amen. We support that. Because again, the shooters always go to places where they can't be shot, where there's no other guns. It's the stupidest thing in the world. Y'all show Fred some love in the chat, and don't forget to show Chris Prez, OG of the channel, some love in the chat for gifting 20 TrueLife News memberships. If you got a free membership from Chris, show him some love in the chat. Y'all are giving so much blessings today. We are growing this community. We're growing our giving, our loving. Y'all show OG of the channel, Chris, some love in the chat, as well as proud U.S. Navy veteran. MAGA is winning. The pharmaceutical industry is evil. Show proud U.S. Navy veteran some love in the chat. I'm telling you, y'all, what you're about to hear next. The next big, beautiful bill that's coming out. More crime bills involved. Social Security, Medicare, Medicaid, tariff revenue, supporting all this. This is big, big stuff. Listen to this.
Congressman Andy Harris of Maryland, House Freedom Caucus Chair and House Appropriates,
the U.S. Senate. So I think we're actually going to have an easier time getting members to join the Freedom Caucus now.
Guys, I'm telling you, I'm so ready to see accountability at the highest level. Guess what? Today, video evidence has now been released by Federal Housing Director Bill Pulte showing that Lisa Cook, remember, she's a federal governor, is renting out her primary residence, strengthening the case against her for mortgage fraud. They're going in, y'all. They got private detectives. They're taking videos. They're going to hold them all accountable. And I'm so dang tired of this, y'all. From the New York Post. You know her name, Representative Elon Omar, the person who basically hates the United States, but yet wants to change everything and said that, you know, I think she's from Somalia, but wants to put that first. Her net worth skyrockets to as much as $30 million months after denying she was a millionaire. Her net worth has skyrocketed roughly 3,500%, 3,500% in the last year. Isn't it so funny? And a lot of people are like, oh, but it's her husband's. Oh, so what does her husband do? Oh, he's a venture capitalist. Oh, so you mean, oh, they invest in businesses and they get grants and they get all this stuff. I'm so sick of this. People go into Congress, ain't worth a dime because they've never built anything. And then they come out a couple years later worth millions and millions of dollars. Let me know your thoughts in the comments. Like, this just makes me cringe inside. Like, how? It makes no sense. Andy, thank you so much for the super chat, brother. Let's go. Said, are people who are legally in the U.S., are they out of the Section 8 housing program? They're not citizens? Yeah, so HUD secretary gave them 30 days notice to every single district across the United States to prove that every person within their housing district was a citizen or not, or else they had to kick them out. Y'all show Andy some love in the chat, as well as Mr. Tracy J. Norrie for Congress, brother, with the 10 gifted TrueLife News memberships. Brother, we appreciate you so much. OG of the channel, growing the TrueLife News family. If you got a free membership from Mr. Norby, show him some love in the chat, brother. Thank you so much to him and Chris Prez for growing the TrueLife News family, gifting some just amazing memberships today. We appreciate you so much. And MDDS75, yes, we're going to work on that I will make sure that we start getting that taken care of for you. Again, the stuff that we're hearing, and I'm so glad that we have Congress who is actually back doing their dang job, back from their recess, from their vacation. Listen to this, because they are going to have a fight of their lives, and they're going to have to prove to the United States that they're going to be America first in all these dang negotiations. Listen to this.
This is, and I'm delighted he's with us, as always, is Senator Josh Hawley. Senator Hawley, this is kind of wild, because for years the Democrats said Trump's tone not only is toxic, but it's dangerous. And now they say they're going to be tougher, and it's going to be, no holds barred, and they're going to get right up in people's faces. But haven't they been doing that for a long time anyway?
Yeah, I love this idea, Laura, that they think they need to be more insulting, as one news article said. Oh, believe me, they're plenty insulting. I mean, I feel insulted every time I have to listen to them. They're the party of insults, and their policies are incredibly insulting. Here's their real problem. Their total contempt for the American people and the American worker and everything we believe in together. This is the party that goes to L.A. and blows up cars on the freeways while they wave Mexican flags. This is the party that says we've got to open the border because America is systemically racist. This is the party that says there's no such thing as a man or a woman, and biological men ought to be in women's sports. I mean, they're insane. They're totally nuts. And now to say, oh, I think we have a messaging problem. No, it's not the messaging. It's not the brand. It's the substance. That's why they're down in the dumps, and that's why Trump is winning.
Well, right now, Senator, we have a situation where the Democrat drama queens in Congress are just trying every day to get some attention by putting on a show. Watch.
With all appeals to your integrity, with all appeals to past jurisdiction and past precedent, why are you doing this? This is outrageous.
This is a kangaroo court. That's all we have here,
This
Mr.
is
Chairman.
wrong. To violate your own rules without going by the mandates of the parliamentarian. This is unbelievable.
Again, it's all stunts and it's all theatrics. And they still think that's what got Trump elected?
Wow.
I mean, I know they don't disagree with him. I get all that. But are they, I mean, it sounds very uncharitable, but are they really that stupid, or are they just fanatics at this point? I'm honestly flummoxed by it. I don't understand it.
You know, sometimes the truth is a hard thing to face, Laura. By the way, I was there for that clip you just played. I had to sit through that. And I think this idea that the Democrats think they need to be more spontaneous and theatrical, they're not a party anymore. They're a theater troupe funded by George Soros. And that's what you saw today. Yeah, that's what you see all the time. I mean, that's what you see. They're going to Tesla dealership.
He just said the quiet part out loud, everybody. He just said it. Media, they're all controlled. They're all being paid off. They're all funded by outside entities, foreign entities, and that's why I'm telling you, when you say that these senators and congressmen and congresswomen are getting bold enough to call all this stuff out and not afraid, that's why this is so important, because I promise you, this D.C. Circuit Court ruled that President Trump can axe an additional $16 billion in climate grants. I promise you that all this $16 billion was not fully going for the climate agenda. I promise you people were getting paid. Money was flowing somewhere, and it's always because there's no accountability. They don't have to report back. They get the check, they go through their taxes, but you don't have somebody who's actually monitoring the billions of dollars that are going to these all these NGOs, these nonprofits. If you appreciate this, if you don't mind hitting the thumbs up like button, redeem Patriot. Thank you so much for the super chat. Let's go. Said America only government jobs. No foreigners should work for our government in any capacity. 100%. Yeah, let me tell you this. When you have people that come in and want to put another country's as a priority over the country that you're in, or you're saying you're serving, that's not right. It's not common sense, and it should never happen. But we hear that from plenty of representatives that are supposed to be representing the United States. that they're trying to do more for their countries they came from. Corruption at its finest.
And burning stuff. They're going to L.A. and lighting cars on fire. I mean, these people, their behavior, it's clownish. And the reason that they're clowning around is because their policies are so terrible. They don't have anything to offer. Let's just review. What did they give the American people? Open borders, jobs gone overseas, corporate malfeasance, wages flat. What's Trump doing? He's closed the border. He's getting our jobs back. Wages for blue-collar workers are finally rising. That's the ball game. I mean, game, set, match right there. That's why Trump is winning. That's why the Dems are where they are.
And Senator, not only does Mamdani and I think a lot of others, coming up through the ranks of the Democrat Party, at least they say they'd entertain abolishing private property, but also ending all prisons. Check this out.
Are prisons obsolete?
I think that, frankly, I mean, what purpose do they serve? Right.
What purpose do they serve?
Your view there.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah, what purpose do they serve? Let me walk you through it. As a former prosecutor, I think I can help here. Here's the purpose they serve. They keep violent people away from law-abiding citizens. They keep our kids safe. They keep the criminals who want to kill us away from those who are vulnerable. I mean, it's amazing. You have to explain this stuff to Democrats. And then again, they wonder, gee, why is our approval rating at like 3%? That's why, because the American people look at the Democrat Party and they see a dumpster fire. And they look at Donald Trump and they see an adult. And that's the difference.
Now, Senator Hawley, I want to get to something that I'm going to tackle in longer form tomorrow, but we're so jammed up tonight. This situation with the same type of Republican thinking on immigration amnesty and foreign workers that I personally, I mean, I've been fighting and winning this issue with compatriots since 2005. Okay, 20 years ago when Bush started the comprehensive immigration reform, God bless him. And this keeps going. McCain, then it was the Gang of Eight, and Rubio. Finally, Rubio stepped back. Then it was Langford and that fiasco that you and I talked about at the time. This is comprehensive. It's going to be great. People are going to pay a fine. They're all hardworking. It's going to be good, and they're going to be patriots, and all of that nonsense. Well, this is being offered again, like a bad penny that keeps showing up at the fair. Watch this.
Our economy needs a reliable working force in areas where other Americans don't participate. Some of the most shameful moments in our past as the country.
This is a Republican, y'all.
Relates to how we have treated immigrants who are not criminals.
I'm telling you, we are about to clean house, everybody. I don't care. Honest, look, legal criminals, there's out. But whenever you're a Republican and you say you're MAGA and you say that you want to create an amnesty for the 20 million that just came in over the past 4 years, you are out of your ever-loving mind. And that is something that you cannot just make a wrong, that not just a small wrong, one of the biggest wrongs in American history, an invasion wrong, right, and try to win over votes, because the majority of people, immigrants that come in, end up voting Democrat. And just like what you're about to hear right here on the screen, y'all, this just broke 5 minutes ago. Senator Joni Ernst, a Republican for Iowa, is officially retiring. She's not seeking re-election in 2026. We can get us a MAGA person in there. Make America Great Again person in there. This could be a huge win because she has gone against Trump and MAGA in a lot of ways. Let me know your thoughts in the comments. This could be a huge pickup opportunity. MDDS75, thank you so much for the super chat. Let's go. Said, Joel, you give us hope for our country. We love you. Love you too, MDDS. We appreciate you so much. Show them some love in the chat. And don't forget to show Mr. Norby and Chris Prez some love in the chat for gifting the True Life News memberships. Y'all are so awesome. I'm telling you. This is why it makes me happy, and this is why I want to just bust my butt every single day, give you the best news. We are breaking news as it's happening. We are living through history right now, And all this matters of what we're seeing now. We just want to make sure that you're taken care of with all the news. That's why we appreciate so much when you share our videos, like our videos. We want to make sure you're taken care of because the stuff that we're listening to is insane. Sometimes even coming from our party, but we all need to know the truth.
Reaction to the congresswoman, who seems very angry right there, but her view is basically Americans. It's a really negative view on Americans. And coming from a family that did a lot of blue-collar work, I'm so offended by that Americans don't do this. Maybe you drove down wages and Americans always did that type of work until it couldn't actually support a family. Congresswoman.
Amnesty.
Your reaction.
Amnesty is always a bad idea. Amnesty is always a bad idea, number one. Number two, you're exactly right. It is a myth that Americans don't want to work. Give me a break. I mean, when these corporations won't pay Americans a decent wage, that's the problem. We see Americans out there willing to work. Under Donald Trump, wages are going up. But Laura, I'm with you 100%. The Republican Party's got to shake off its losing ways. And one of the things that's made them losers before Donald Trump is they kept saying that we needed to have more immigration that would displace American workers. No, we don't. We need to give American workers a fair deal. We need to give them a fair shake, let them get back to work. Trump ran on that in 16, in 20, and 24. That's why he was victorious. Republicans need to listen. No more of this establishment, comprehensive immigration, bring in a flood of immigrants. No, exactly. He's fixed it.
Trump's done it. Enforced the border, shows that it works, deporting criminals, getting them out of this country as fast as he can, and I hope the numbers improve. But any move toward that nonsense will be fought tooth and nail by not just MAGA, but by millions of people across the country who are sick of those lies. And frankly, it's a very negative view on the American workforce. I completely reject it, and it's been defeated about 5 times. Just ask Marco Rubio how it worked out for him. All right.
I'm telling you, y'all, this big stuff that's coming out. So I want to show you this because this is going to be huge. Again, you don't, oh my goodness, you don't allow 20 million people to come into the United States and not have a housing crisis. And it's cost Americans so much. And that's why Treasury Secretary Scott Bessent, Trump weighing the national housing emergency. I want to show you where they're at because this could really change a lot of things for America in a very, very positive way. Jeffrey Hatt, thank you so much, brother, for the super chat. Said MAGA is being attacked from all sides. Communist Party, communist rhinos, 100%. We have got to drain the swamp. Y'all show Jeffrey Hatt some love in the chat, everybody. Listen to this.
Look at that market, please. Not as bad as it was a few minutes ago. The Dow is down 313, the Nasdaq down 235. Jeff Seeker with us this Tuesday morning. Trump might declare a national housing emergency. That's fascinating. You're a housing guy. What would a housing emergency do for the housing industry?
Well, I mean, Stuart, not only do I support Trump declaring a national emergency, I actually think it's long overdue for a few reasons. The average medium-priced homes cannot be afforded by 75% of the population. That puts this economy in a very dire position. Now, I support a lot of what President Trump is doing, but if he really wants to declare victory, he's got to get this affordability issue resolved, and he has to restore the American dream. What a state of emergency will do is, I believe, it's going to put pressure on the Fed to lower rates.
Yes. Well, yeah, you'll get lower rates. You'll probably get lower mortgage rates. But what you really need is more housing being built.
Yeah, I mean, you need, the supply is going to solve a lot of this issue, because a lot of people look at real estate and housing and they say, well, prices are still high. That must mean that the market is good. No, the market is terrible because there's no liquidity. And even those people who've been starved out of the single-family home market into the rental market, they're spending from 30 to 50% of their pay on rent. That puts people like me, who are a landlord, that puts me in a very difficult position, because most of my tenants are one bad economic turn away from being late for their payments. So if they don't do something about it, the American dream will not be restored.
It's just so different from the way it was when I first came to America all those years ago. Completely different. You know, middle-class people could afford their first home. back in the day.
Right.
Now they can't.
Well, and not only that is middle-class people could afford a home, but they could also afford to live.
Yeah.
You know, because debt is become so prevalent that it's put a lot of people back on their heels, not spending money. We need everything to change to declare victory.
Jeff Seeker on a Tuesday morning. Good stuff. Thanks, Jeff.
I'm telling you, y'all, like the interest rates, like Trump is going to get the interest rates lowered one way or another. And he's going to put enough pressure on Powell to make this happen. And I just got to show you this because Trump is such a troll. If you appreciate this, if you don't mind hitting the thumbs up like button, as this is hilarious. It's hilarious. So President Trump says he will be adding a portrait of Joe Biden's auto pen to his presidential wall of fame in the newly renovated White House Rose Garden. Guys, this is hilarious. Instead of putting up a picture of Biden, he's going to put up a picture of an auto pen. It just shows you how serious he is that we did not have a president during those 4 years from 2020 to 2024. Let me know your thoughts in the comments, guys. It's hilarious. Trump is such a troll. But again, this was like one of the worst things that could have ever happened to the United States of America, what we experienced over the past 4 years. Listen to this.
Be tonight if that woman were president. Here to discuss is Florida Congressman and gubernatorial candidate in Florida, Byron Donalds. Congressman, wonderful to see you. Voters of tomorrow. It sounds like an amusement park ride. You know, apparently they claim it's the largest Gen Z-led voter outreach organization in the United States. But if you've caught any of this today or have seen any of it on X or Instagram, your reaction is?
Look, I was watching a little bit in the break, Laura, and it was just sad. A lot of rambling, no substance. And I would also add, if they're looking for the largest Gen Z voter registration group, I think that belongs to Charlie Kirk and Turning Point USA. The reason why young people are moving towards a conservative movement is because, number one, we actually have policy that works and we're not lying to you about it. And then number two, I mean, look at the people that they put up. They're not even cool anymore. They're losing the late night wars. Stephen Colbert just got canceled because of the 40 million he's losing. They don't have the culture to put these people out to make them seem like they're cool. In reality, they're not, and their policies are failing. That's why the Democrats continue to fall behind.
Yeah, and Congressman, the swearing kind of continued in different appearances today. I mean, so it's the same old thing. It's dropping the F-bombs. It's the crude language. It's the Trump hatred. But at one point, there was some breakout sessions, as they're called. Here's one to cherish.
If you like bonding, if you like throwing yarn, you're going to want to follow these lovely ladies to the back of this room. If you don't want to throw balls of yarn and bond, that's okay.
Oh, my God. I just want you to know,
that's not real.
It has to be fake. I don't even, honestly, I wish I had a ball of yarn because I would throw it at the camera right now just to be goofy. But at this point, you just have to walk out of the room and say, I've got to switch parties. This is so embarrassing. Trump is so fun and has such a, infectious spirit for the country. Even if you don't agree with all his policies, it just makes politics fun again. What is this? I don't even know what...
I'm telling you, y'all, like the stuff that's coming out, they have no leg to stand on. Look at this. The Trump DOJ is suing the state of Illinois for giving discounted tuition to illegals. You can't make this stuff up, y'all. It's like we show you all this stuff that you normally don't see on mainstream media. We love to show you it here because this is actually the truth of what's going on behind the scenes. And it's hilarious because nobody knows this is going on. And they use our taxpayer dollars to do it. Federal taxpayer dollars to do it. Nobody knew this was going on. Canadian man illegally voted in the U.S. for 20 years. So people that they said, oh, nobody's voting illegally. Oh, our elections are so secure. You can't believe them right now, everybody. I'm telling you, we are going to show all the truth. We're going to expose everybody, and it's time for the Democrats to just step aside.
It is.
If you want to know why, look, if you want to know why the Democrats are losing young men, that's why. There ain't a young man in America today that wants to be throwing yarn in the back. I'm just sorry. That's the dumbest thing I've ever seen, Laura, but why should we be shocked? This is the same party that lied to us and said that Joe Biden was capable of doing his job, and we all know he was not.
Well, Congressman, the reminder for this summit says that each person needs to show a valid photo ID to get into it. Of course,
really?
They really police their borders there at that summit, another autopsy summit. But heaven forbid we police our actual borders, Congressman.
Look, again, rules for thee, not for them. This is the craziest thing. If they actually believed in common sense, I truly believe they would stand a chance for the future. But if they continue to go down this foolishness, you need to show an ID to get into their summit, but in California, you don't need to show an ID to vote. It's this type of idiocy, which is why the Democrats are losing Americans more and more. Just look at their approval ratings, the lowest they've ever been in the modern era, and they're going to continue to fall behind. Look, I think in the midterm elections, I say let them continue these summits. We'll go ahead and win the House and Senate majorities in the midterms, and we will continue to work with President Trump to make America not just great again, but better than it's ever been.
Yeah, we got to build those majorities, that's for sure. Congressman, thank you very much.
I'm telling you, again, so much is going on. Moving forward with cleaning up America, it's just, what I love is that we're going to have some fights, but Trump is continuing to win, just like he'll win this one. Where a federal judge rules that Trump violated military law by activating the National Guard in California. Give me a break. The city was being run over. People are happening. And it's just mind-blowing that you have these places, these judges, these activist, partisan judges that try to slow Trump down, and it only until we get to the actual Supreme Court that we actually see the actual real ruling. And that's where things are going, in the emergency docket. Real rulings. Let me know your thoughts in the comments if you appreciate this. If you don't mind hitting the thumbs up like button. Want to say thank you to everybody who is watching, to all those that are subscribers. If you're not subscribed, please consider joining our family. We want to serve you every day with the top news. Thank you so much for liking our videos, sharing our videos. We're excited about where things are going. We are growing this community. We're bringing the truth out. And it's just so beautiful that we're able to continue to see America winning with the right people in place. And we just got to keep bringing it out, showing everybody as much as possible. Want to give some special love to our members of the channel, those that have given today. Remember, on the 22nd of every single month, we donate this to a local charity live on stream. Your boy, I get this, and we move towards changing lives, helping those that are innocent. And this month is going to be towards a local children's home. And just want to say thank you from the bottom of my heart. Me and my family are truly grateful that you trust us and you support us as we continue to do this. And this is what it's all about. We're going to change lives. We're going to give God the glory. We're going to continue to bring the truth, put America first. Y'all show Mr. Norby some love in the chat for gifting 30 TrueLife News memberships today. OG of the channel. Show him some love if you got a free membership. Show Chris Prez some love in the chat. OG of the channel for gifting 20 TrueLife News memberships today. Such a blessing. So kind. So great. So just, y'all are awesome. Want to give some love to Sharon L. Rich. Show Sharon some love in the chat. Fred Samuel, thank you so much, brother. Hills Boys, welcome to the family. Andy, B1 Sly One, thank y'all so much for your support. Angela Broom, thank you so much. Kathy Brewer, OG of the channel, thank you so much for your support. Proud U.S. Navy veteran, we appreciate you. Sharon, Redeemed Patriot, MDDS 75, thank you so much for your support. Jeffrey Hatt, guys, y'all are the best. Show them some love in the chat. Thank you so much again for liking and sharing our videos. Remember, we're here to serve you. Oh, and Kathy just gifted 5 TrueLife News memberships. Show Kathy, OG of the channel, some love in the chat. Y'all make us so happy, and we hope that we make you happy. We have a good time on the chat. We got the best YouTube chat out there, everybody, and it's all to serve you all. We love you. We appreciate you. We're here to have a good time, to win, to put America first, and we're going to keep doing it. I love you all. We'll see you in the next one. Take care.